Cette semaine, on commence avec un conseil de lecture. L'universitaire Iris Bray se penche sur la représentation de la sexualité féminine dans les séries et c'est passionnant. Le plaisir féminin est-il toujours tabou? Les chaînes câblées ont-elles plus d'audace pour parler de masturbation sans rougir? Quelle place est accordée à la communauté LGBT sur nos écrans? Autant de questions auxquelles l'auteur répond sans détour en s'appuyant entre autres sur Masters of Sex, Girls, Transparente, Desperate Housewives ou encore Scandale. Et maintenant, changement de décor. Madame et Série a profité d'une journée consacrée à la réalisation des séries durant le festival Sérimania pour s'entretenir avec le réalisateur Matthew Penn. À son tableau de chasse, Damages, Law & Order, Royal Pains, Orange is the New Black ou encore Secrets and Lies.
I was a production assistant on a film in 1980. I then worked as an actor and I went into theater and I was directing theater and I directed in a one-act festival, this is now years, where somebody at ABC saw it and liked it and wanted me to come in to direct kind of a soap opera, one of those daily, well, I had no money and we were having a son and so I said yes, but got there and thought, oh boy, I'm hoping to do better than something in prime time. And Law & Order was looking for directors. And the person that I worked with as a production assistant 12 years before introduced me because he was working for the man who was running Law & Order then. And it still then took 2 years for him to trust me enough to give me an episode. And he made it very clear, before I started shooting that if it wasn't going well, he'd just fire me and that would be it.
Okay, Finn Carisi, go back to these two. Get me that video if it exists.
De par son économie restreinte, la production de séries repose beaucoup sur la préparation et sur des temps de tournage respectés à la minute près.
By the time I have a script that everybody likes, usually they want me to just shoot it in as dynamic a way as I possibly can. Once you start shooting, you have very few notes, almost because by the time they're seeing what's being shot on day 1, you're on day 3. By the time they're seeing 3, you're on 5 or 6, and you're done on day 7 or 8, So the chief note period is during prep. During the 7 days that lead up to shooting. The director has 7 days to find all the locations, cast the roles, do all the things that are required to get that show in place for it to be to begin shooting. And that's when you're getting most of the notes. You'll have an opportunity to sit down with writers and go through, okay, so what did you mean here, and what's the essential thing here, and do you want this emphasis or that emphasis? Or I have an idea about this. Once you start shooting, strangely, that horse has left the barn, and it goes really fast.
That everyone wants to look back and think that their choices mattered, but in reality, shit just happens the way that it happens, and it does not mean anything.
Comme tous les réalisateurs de télé qui passent d'une série à l'autre tout au long de l'année, Matthew Penn a appris à s'adapter à toutes les situations en un temps record.
It's always difficult when you're on the very first day of a new show. It's always difficult. You don't know the actors that well. You don't know the crew. And in some ways, it's like the first day of school. You need to make friends fast. And hopefully you make friends because they want you to do well. They don't want you to do badly. It reflects poorly on them. But you want them to respect what you do, and also let them know that you're responsive to what they do, to what they bring to the table, to how expert they have been at making a successful series up to that point. So when you're coming back to a series that you've done 3 or 4 times, it gets much, much easier. They know that you're successful at the show, which is why you're being asked back. They trust that. So it's the first day on a new series is pretty much unparalleled. That's hard.
Si l'on parle beaucoup et à raison du fossé créatif entre les networks et les chaînes câblées, Matthew Penn considère qu'il se resserre pour ce qui est de la réalisation.
Earlier this morning, a 5-year-old boy was found dead. The body was discovered by a jogger in the woods near his home.
I haven't in a long time experienced either limitless freedom or horrendous constraint, both of which would be terribly difficult. Limitless freedom, as I say, it's great to give a director limitless freedom, but they have to do then something. They have to shoot the scene in a particular way, or and it has to tell the story. In general, as I say, though, you'll have a little bit more liberty in cable than you will in network television, in just the same way that if you go to your favorite restaurant on the corner, it's going to cook food in a different way than McDonald's. McDonald's is trying to appeal to a lot of people. Now, I don't mean to equate network television to McDonald's. That's not a fair equation. And network television has changed enormously. You know, not that long ago, we were making a lot of terrible television. You know, just sort of boring, regular, and in this last sort of 10, 15 years, television really changed, and it changed on both network and cable. So, in general, it's a much, much better time.
Des chaînes dont on attribue généralement l'évolution aux showrunners et aux auteurs, en oubliant qu'il s'agit aussi d'un média visuel.